we felt like an escape from all of the COVID nastiness and everything. Get back to something that's a little bit normal. So one of the things we used to like to do was come up to the St Clair River, drive from Algonac at the south side all the way up to Fort Gratiot at the north side.
It's been a long time since we've done this.
It's been such a long time since we've done this. But go and take pictures of the freighters and just anything else that we see. So it's a good photo opportunity for us. And I have not been out since I got my Z50 to try it out. And this is one of the first things I always do. So today, we're finally going to give it a shot in this COVID concern era.
Right, today it's a flooding era.
Today is a flooding area. It's insane. We're in Algonac right now, right by the Algonac Museum, Algonac Clay Museum, which I've actually been in. It's a nice little museum.
Nice.
But today, we're going to focus on the photography and have you along with us. I'm Darryl.
And I'm Renee.
And this is R&DW Adventures.
Normally this is such an important piece of summer here in Algonac. There's all kinds of festivals and really cool things happening. Not to mention all the boats you can see passing, usually freighters, but not today. But today it's kind of underwater, really flooded. The water's beautiful, perfectly clear. It looks really nice, blue-green out there, but perfectly clear as it's washing up on the boardwalk. So unfortunately this summer, not only can we not have all the festivals here due to COVID-19, but right now it is flooded out.
The first stop as we head north out of Algonac toward Fort Gratiot is Algonac State Park. Now we can start seeing the freighters as we drive up here, but this is the first spot we can really pull over and get out and take some photos. So we've got the St. Clair River back here, which normally we get to see some Great Lakes freighters. We use an app called Marine Traffic on the iPhone. I believe it's also available for Android, that shows the traffic, and it's the transponders that most of the larger ships and government ships and even a lot of the private vessels have. But if you take a look, we have no traffic at all. It is dead out here today. So this might be a bust. In the meantime though, this park is flooded. Normally there's a nice beach, we can go down and hang out, see some Petoskey rocks for those who are into that kind of stuff. But today, there's nothing. So we're kind of at a loss. We can't get down on the beach, we can't go and shoot the boats. So we'll see what we find a little further north.
Here we are in Marine City, one of our favorite stops along the way. It's a little less flooded, although the water level's still pretty high here. It's a cute little town with all kinds of shops and parks, and it's just so much fun to come to. This lighthouse behind me is actually a really interesting one. It's the Pesh Island Lighthouse. It wasn't actually built for Marine City, it was moved here. So I think this is where I'm going to do my adventure lab. One of the reasons I'm thinking about doing my adventure lab here is because in addition to all these really great little parks, there's a whole bunch of monuments and other reference points along the way that I think would make it really cool. On top of all that, one of our favorite places to stop right over my shoulder here is Roasted Coffee and Cafe. I think we're going to have some lunch and contemplate my adventure lab there. They even have bubble tea, which makes it even better than it ever was before.
So just along this downtown area on Water Street, which is probably only like half mile long, there's like half a dozen little parks, some big, some small, including a beach at the end of Water Street, so it's really awesome. But Renee's not going to have any problem finding enough material to do that adventure lab, and we'll probably do a video on her actually creating it, but watch for that coming soon, hopefully. While we were in Roasted though, we noticed that we've got a freighter coming. So we're going to come out here to, I believe this one is Nautical Park. I'm actually losing track of it already, but we're going to set up. Big shout out to the ladies over at Roasted though for taking care of us today, and a great, fairly light lunch. Definitely worth checking out if you are in the area.
Just another stop along the way. We are in St. Clair, which is a really cute little town with a nice, really long, pretty park, and they are very much into their art. Today, apparently, some music too. And it's just a really fun, cute stop.
So we managed to catch the Cuyahoga downbound at one of these little cool roadside parks in Marysville. So quick note for anyone who is coming down to shoot this kind of stuff, which I highly encourage if you're at all into photography or into boats, because this is a pretty easy target because it is such a narrow river. You know, and we can see the cars in Canada with the naked eye, and because of that, you'd be surprised at the lenses you need. I'm shooting with my kit lens, the 50 to 250 on this Z50, which is an APS-C. So if you're shooting with a full frame sensor, 70 to 300 is more than you really need generally. And a lot of the time when I come out here, I'm shooting with something like a 20 to 4 to 70, which would be like your 18 to 55, 80 kit lens on one of the APS-C sensors. So something to consider if you're coming out here is you don't really need a lot of big cool glass to get great shots of these ships, because they are right here. It's easy to see those ships. So, you know, if you do happen to come out, grab a bunch of photos and share them, and let's take a look at what you got, because this is a lot of fun and we love coming out and grabbing these photos.
So now we're in Port Huron, and behind us is the Blue Water Bridge. And basically this is the end of the St Clair River.
We generally head up one more city to Fort Gratiot, check out the Fort Gratiot light, which is kind of cool, even though you can't generally go into it. But here in Port Huron is another great spot to go rummaging around and get some photos. Again, we've got a great boardwalk here that you can spend some time on. Further south from here is Vantage Point, which has its own rail trail system, actually, because it used to be a rail yard. And they have some really cool stuff there, which we'd like to have shown you, but there were too many stupid people. Well, that's the problem. There were stupid people. Way too many people,
and yes, they were stupid.
Yes. It's getting in our way.
Inconsiderate.
So we tried. But we're going to head up to Fort Gratiot from here. We did want to make this stop just because this is the end of the river as far as we're concerned, but we got to go up and see one more place. So we are at Lighthouse Park in Fort Gratiot. Lighthouse is kind of right about there. And unfortunately, it is absolutely insane out here at the beach.
Very crowded.
No parking anywhere, so we can't really do too much. Can't even get near the lighthouse, despite the fact that it looks like the museum is actually open today. So
for the first time since we've ever tried.
Yeah, well, I've been up there before the museum was like finished, so I'm anxious to see if it's actually finished and if it's ready. But that's going to do it for this video because, well, we kind of ran out of availability at this point. We can't get toward it, and you know, it's already 4 o'clock, which if you are coming out to do the freighter shooting, it's really good to do it like in the morning before noon and then like after dinner time. This time in between kind of just doesn't really work. But hopefully you do get out here because it's a lot of fun.
It's really pretty.
Yeah, it's really pretty. Great way to spend a summer day.